Impact driver versus drill. You're staring at your toolbox, or maybe you're in the aisle at Home Depot, and you're asking yourself, do I need a drill or do I need an impact driver? Today, we're breaking down the exact situations when you should use a drill and when you absolutely need the raw power of an impact driver. Let's make sure you never strip a screw or split a board again. First, let's break down the basics. A drill is your go-to for making holes, handling lightweight driving jobs that uses constant torque, and it's great for precision. An impact driver, on the other hand, adds concussive rotational force. Think hammer meets screwdriver. That's more power, less effort, and fewer strip screws. The key difference? Torque and force delivery. The drill is a scalpel, the impact driver is a sledgehammer. If you think this is the only project that may have you scratching your head about which tool you should use, just wait until you hear the following. Use a drill when you need to make clean, accurate holes. You're working with small screws or soft materials, you're countersinking or using bits that require clutch settings. You need better control at low speeds. Pro tip, if your job needs finesse like cabinet work or drilling into drywall, stick with the drill. Installing picture hangings hardware on the wall is a great job for a drill, where a paced, steady, and relative low torque is needed. Another perfect use for a drill is assembling furniture that comes in a kit for assembly, where the hardware included does not require high torque or power to put it together. Avoid using an impact driver for delicate work, such as hanging pictures, installing plastic wall anchors in drywall, or assembling delicate furniture pieces, as it may damage things. Now, before I get into the next project, which may completely change the way you think about impact drivers, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you want to start taking care of more around your house. The drill has a 1/2-inch keyless chuck assembly, larger assembly on the front of the drill, which adds quite a bit of length to it. Comes with different speeds, 1 and 2 typically, torque settings between very, very light, where it releases on a very light torque, up to the full torque of the drill motor itself. The 1/2-inch keyless chuck can handle very small bits up to very large 1/2-inch drill bits, whereas the impact driver only comes with a 1/4-inch spring-loaded chuck designed for holding 1/4-inch bits. They come in various shapes and sizes for bits. For example, here I have an adapter that goes from 1/4-inch to 3/8, so I can actually drive large sockets. For example, much larger sockets like you might use in automotive work. You can install very small magnetic chucks that hold little bits that come in kits. This, for example, is a Torx 27, which I would use to drive the screw here in this block. High torque, high impact, no keyless chuck, just a spring-loaded 1/4-inch key versus a 1/2-inch chuck. They both have a variable speed motor, so I can drive it at very low speed. I can also drive it at very high speed. They both have reverse. They both have a center position on this between the forward and reverse, so that it basically locks out the mechanism. And that's what we do with these. To give you a quick example, it uses the anvil assembly, or in some cases the hydraulic assembly, in order to provide that high torque, whereas the drill is quite a bit different. A variable speed motor, of course, but it doesn't have an anvil. Plenty of torque for a small screw. Now, larger lag bolts or larger bolts, that's a different story. The drill is longer than the impact driver. Why is this? Because the drill has a keyless chuck assembly, which adds quite a bit of length to the drill. These are for lower torque situations, still fairly high torque, but not the same purpose as high torque, high power requirements of an impact driver. The impact driver does not have a keyless chuck. For example, a 1/2-inch keyless chuck that can take bits from small all the way up to a 1/2-inch, whereas these impact drivers only have a 1/4-inch chuck, a spring-loaded chuck. Reach for an impact driver when you're driving long screws, lag bolts, or fasteners into tough materials. You're working on framing, decking, or subflooring. You want to avoid risk fatigue or stripping screws. You're removing stubborn screws that a drill just can't budge. Here's the beauty of an impact driver. It does the hard work for you. That pounding rotational force lets the bit stay engaged even when things get tough. Let's say you're installing cabinets up on a wall, driving long screws through a wall into the studs behind the drywall. This is a perfect use for the impact driver because it takes more torque to drive those screws all the way in. Another good example is building decks and fences where lag bolts may be required. The impact driver will do this effortlessly. Avoid the mistake of using a drill for high torque situations like cabinets and decks and fences.
This is the anvil, this is the hammer, and this is the spring. With strain, the spring slams the hammer into the anvil.
Got a request? Let us know in the comments below. And if you find this helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for more tool tips and do-it-yourself tricks, and share this with your favorite weekend warrior. Don't want to choose between an impact driver and a drill? You don't have to. The newest version is a combo. This is a hammer drill. You get the finesse of a drill and you get the brute force of an impact driver. This Milwaukee Fuel brushless half-inch hammer drill driver comes with a high torque assembly which you can screw on to the casing. In this case, I already have it attached. It has the benefits of a half-inch keyless chuck, so I can put very large bits in it, such as that drill bit. I can do the finesse of a very small drill bit or a very fine screw in a low torque setting. In this case, I can set the torque to very high. It has the benefits of a drill, speed setting 1 and 2, so for higher speeds. In this case, I can also use it as a hammer. Hammer drills have a hammer mode with a linear impact action for using on concrete and masonry. Similar to an impact driver, when the hammer mode is turned off, it functions as a standard drill. Impact drivers, however, deliver rotational impacts to use with screws, bolts, and higher torque items. In this case, let's put in a lag bolt. So which one should you use? Use a drill for accuracy and control. Use an impact driver for power and speed. And if you can, use both to get the best of both worlds. Got a request? Let us know in the comments below. And if you find this helpful, hit that like button. Subscribe for more tool tips and do-it-yourself tricks. And share this with your favorite weekend warrior.